Hey y'all, it's me, Lynn Daniel, coming to you today from the Buddy Zone. Yeah, so this is day 2 of me uploading videos. And it's not gonna be, I'm sorry, but it is gonna be like it is, right? And I'm not sorry, I'm sorry that I'm not having a lot of interaction with you guys, but it really is how it has to be right now. But since I had a free moment, I thought I would come to you and talk about some books. I went live on IG and I shared my thoughts on the Yann Martel novel Beatrice and Virgil that I reread. This book came out in 2010. I read it then when it came out, and then I read it because I had just in a few years prior, I had read, on the recommendation of one of my former students, I read The Life of Pi by Yann Martel. And so when Beatrice and Virgil came out, I just wanted to read it because The Life of Pi was so well written. I mean, this man, writers they just awe me because they take words and they just bring them down to the fewest words in a description, and it's so compact, and a tightly knit picture is drawn through words. I mean, and he does it beautifully. And not only how he crafts the words and puts them together, how he takes a story and then he'll do a story within a story. He does that. He does that beautifully, like skillfully, without any glitch. You just transition from one story into the second story seamlessly, and the experience is just riveting. Like this, yeah, I think he's a very good, he's an awesome writer. And English is not his first language, and that, you know, that is another thing that I really respect about people who are multilingual, polyglots, if you will. His first language is Spanish, I believe, because he was born in Spain. I'm trying to look on the, yeah, he was born in Spain. So you would imagine that his first language is Spanish. And then he learned, his character learned some other languages too, right? Or did I read that about him? Like, no, I think the character Henry had mastered German, Spanish, English, and couldn't master, no, French, English, and German, and was trying to master Spanish, which was interesting to me because French and Spanish are both Romance languages and they're similar. But anyway, so English is not his first language, and this book is written so beautifully in English. It's not translated into English. It's written by him in English. And for him to have that, for it not to be his first language, and he has that much of a command over the language, to me is impressive. My one of my writing partners is like that. His first language is Spanish. He writes in both English and Spanish. I've read his English work and I have some of his Spanish work. Now look, I ain't gonna lie to you, I can't read Spanish a lot. I mean, I can just pick out words, but I can't really tell you what the gist or what he's saying. I can't tell you the meaning of like a full paragraph. It'll be patchy, you know. So, but that's impressive to me. That's the point I'm making. For someone to write, so he conveyed the story, just the characters. So I'm not going to spoil it in case you want to read it yourself, but I mean, it always, I teach reading, so we do background, you know, we do building background, okay, so I can ask you, like, what do you know about suffering? You know, have you ever experienced a loss or a trauma? You know, a loss of someone you love, a loss of something that you owned or valued, or a loss of, you know, something even closer than that. Have you experienced heartbreak that is so overwhelming that it leaves you an empty shell, you know? So these are, and there, you know, I could probably come up with a lot more questions to kind of give you an insight of where the direction the book is going to take you. But it's, you know, the main character is Henry, and he's an author. I'm gonna try not to spoil it. I'll just set it up for you in case you want to read it. And he is writing a book about something that the cover, the jacket, is symbolic. It's a symbolic representation of the theme of what, or the content or subject that Henry is writing about. You know, the subject, the content of the story, and the theme, the underlying theme of this story is signified by this jacket cover. If you can make out what you see, what it is. Okay, but anyway. And the characters on the front are called Beatrice and Virgil. And Beatrice is a donkey, and Virgil is a howler monkey. And they are characters in the story within the story. That's not spoiling it. That's setting it up for you. But it's, on the back it says mesmerizing novel, provocative, ingenious. Yeah, I agree. How he wrote it, it was very clever, and not, it was just well, it was well constructed, like a well-built house, or a well-cooked, just a deliciously cooked meal, or a beautifully orchestrated piece of music. That's how well the story is put together. And I'm just not saying it. This time reading it, was looking for clues that Henry missed. That was my focus this time. The first time I read it, I was so intrigued by the story of Beatrice and Virgil, and just emotionally exhausted by that story, to where I don't recall really looking for clues that Henry missed. So that's what I did this time. And there are lots of them. And early on, there are lots of them. And he was getting, you know how your body gives you gut checks and you have instantaneous reactions to certain things, then you rationalize those things away. So Henry was getting those all along through the story. He was getting gut checks. He was having reactions, genuine, spontaneous reactions, and he was rationalizing and pushing forward when really he should not have been. This story, I think, serves, well, it serves us to, it's a reminder about a lot of things. Like trusting your gut, I think. Trusting your gut. Like when you come to the end of something, when you come to the end of something, like a rebirth or a renaissance that happens after, like, you know how you plant seeds and seeds have to die before the plants grow. So I think that's one of the themes in there as well. But it's a very good book, guys, if you want to read it. I got it on Amazon. You can get it. I bought a second copy because my first copy is somewhere else. And so I have 2 copies now, which is normal for me. I have 3 copies of a book right here that I'm using for my dissertation. I'm like, how did I end up with 3? But I think I bought 2 and 1 was given to me by my old school, my former school. But yeah, check out this book, y'all. And now I am going to, I went on Amazon last night and ordered 3 more books from Yann Martel. His first novel, Self, and the second one is the most recent one, about something about mountains. Let me see if I can find it and tell you all the titles. Okay, The High Mountains of Portugal. I got that. And The Facts Behind the Helsinki Racamachas. I got that. And Self. Helsinki Racamachas. What did I say? Anyway, those were all under 20 bucks for all 3 books. I paid $6.30, $9.99, and $4.22. The 99-cent had a $3.99 shipping though. So altogether I spent under 20 bucks for these books. Now I'm going to go check out and see what Jamaica Kincaid has written so I can... Jamaica Kincaid is an author. She teaches at a university, last I heard. She's a tenured, I want to say, English professor or something dealing with literature or literature. Yeah, at some university back east. But I haven't heard, she's been off my radar for so long. I used to read her books in the 90s. I loved her books. The autobiography of my mother, she wrote. I'm right here on... Let me see. A Small Place. That's new. That's 2016. I don't have that. I read Lucy, The Autobiography of My Mother. I read that one. At the Bottom of the River. I think that might have been the first one I read from her. No? No, that's new. Let's see. At the Bottom of the River. Let me click on it and see. This was not written in 2017, was it? Audible release date was 2017. But when was it published? 2000. And I didn't read that. A Small Place. I can get them on Audible, but I think Annie John, that one I read. That one is good. That one is good. Mr. Potter. That one is awesome. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I'm going to build back my library on her. Because those that I read, I did get from the public library years ago. And then I ended up buying a few, but I don't know where they are. They're either in my other library or they're lost. I don't know. But anyway, I usually don't lose books. That's one thing I don't lose. I don't lose books. Okay, you all, get your reading on. Or you know, get a book. If you don't have time to read, listen to a book. I'm going to come back and share with you all some of the podcasts that I like to listen to. And during the day, I don't have a TV, but I do like to have like intellectual conversations going on with folks. And if I can't have it with real folks, I'll just listen to podcasts, take notes sometimes, you know, and that way. All right, y'all. Be blessed.